Hey, friends, welcome back to Midweek Encouragement. Thanks for joining us once again with First Church of God. We're always thankful that you join us here. But if ever you have the opportunity to join us at church on Sunday mornings, we would love to have you with us once again. Hey, as you know, I'm a pastor, but I also do some performance. I do ventriloquism, I do illusions, and I do a lot of things where I am in the spotlight. I'm on the stage. Not always the most comfortable place to be. But I kind of have this prayer that I pray before I go on stage. And it's not that I'm greater than anybody else, but it's an idea of to keep me humble. And I will pray, Lord, place a curtain between me and the people so that they will see you and not me. If you're not careful, you can get a big head when you're on stage, and those don't go over real well. Spotlights is what you get on when you're on a stage. And spotlights are not a good place to get a tan. The spotlights may make you feel warm and they can be blinding, but they can never replace the sun. They cannot provide the vitamin D that our bodies need or anything else of that nature. And they have to be connected, a spotlight has to be connected to a power source. They're known to point out our weaknesses, our flaws. And if there is a spotlight for us to stand before, it needs to be the spotlight of Jesus so that we can receive his forgiveness, his healing. He has clothed us with his righteousness so that there is no barriers between us and him. We often want to avoid his spotlight because of our sin, our iniquity, our wrongdoing, our trying to do our own thing. What did Adam and Eve do after they sinned? They tried to hide. They tried to make custom tailored clothing for themselves, and it failed. Went out of fashion pretty quick. When we sit in the darkness, we feed our self-pity, our self-righteousness, and we blame others, and we begin to feed hatred within ourselves. Jesus is the light of the world, and in him there is no darkness. When we draw close to him, the spotlight also illuminates the path that he desires us to walk in. It creates peace around us. Jesus used a spotlight to redirect our path. His word is a lamp unto our feet, a light unto our path. Have you ever had the privilege of holding a light for your parent as they worked on a car or they worked on something else that needed a little bit extra light? It's a high-risk position because we don't always exactly know where they want the light to be shined. And sometimes we can either shine the light in their eyes or our eyes, or we can become distracted, or we might be shining it someplace it doesn't even need to be. And then we might get yelled at. Well, I continue to learn that bright lights don't need spotlights. Recently, we went to watch one of my nieces play volleyball, and this is the 10-year-old kids at the YMCA. And in this volleyball game, everybody gets a chance to be the server. And the server doesn't always succeed in getting the ball over the net. And if they fail, the ball goes to the other team, and the other team has the opportunity to serve and to score some points until they make a mistake and serve goes back to the other team. It doesn't go back to the same server until their turn rotates around. But every time they get another attempt, they get to do this again. They get to try to serve the ball again. They don't give up. They don't quit. The next player does their job. And just because the ball doesn't go over the net doesn't mean that it is the end of the game or that they are disqualified. The team doesn't quit because of that one failure. They keep trying. The Bible says in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 10, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them. Maybe we help one, maybe we help 10, maybe we help 100. Everything we do, God sees. I also reminded of Galatians 6:9, where it promises, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. You never saw Jesus asking permission to do good. He didn't say, hey, is everybody okay if I feed all 5,000? He never said to the guy that had leprosy, do you mind Do you have any complaints if I heal you today? Or the blame and the blind, do you mind if I do this for you? Matthew chapter 6, verse 1, it says, be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others, to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues or on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, and do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. See, God isn't looking for your abilities. He wants your availability. Mother Teresa said, you can do what I cannot do, and I can do what you cannot do, but together we can do great things. But then I'm reminded of 1 Corinthians 13:1. It says, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. In other words, it doesn't matter how much talent you have or money you have. If there's no love in what you do, it's only annoying and worthless. You are turning the spotlight back on yourself. And there's a danger. This is dangerous because you can get burned touching a spotlight. Remember, bright lights don't need spotlights. So where can you go be a bright light in someone else's life today? Sometimes the little things we do become big things in other people's lives. And God sees what and why you do what you do. So go do what you're going to do in love. Thank you, friends. Bye-bye.